Hello, 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 for whoever is watching. Today we're going to be breaking down the suite for the upcoming web series Red Shark, which I have been commissioned to score. And I just wanted to walk through some of the themes and techniques that I employed here because this whole show takes place in the ocean. I went deep. Anyway, let's bring up the... There we go. So right here I have a live keyboard, so I can kind of walk through some of the chords and some of the decisions that I made over the course of this web series. So we're going to begin with the first theme, which is for the ocean. So this is how I started out. The web series is a claymation, science fiction, action, comedy thriller. It takes place in a world that has been overrun by water. So everything takes place in submarines. And the Red Shark is the titular submarine that our main characters are in. And because they never leave the surface of the water, I figure, like, well, let's come up with kind of a theme for the ocean and have that be the grounding basis for the entire score. In other words, because they're always in the ocean, then these two chords are going to be permeating the entire score throughout. So I decided to take an inverted C major. It says a regular C major to an E minor. But when you invert it, kind of lift the C over here. So these chords are the ocean chords. As you can see here, we did this with synths and strings. So I wanted this kind of undulating thing, almost like ocean waves. And then I added some cool piano that sounds like sonar. Gives that underwater kind of feeling. Sort of a cold feeling as well. Then I decided to throw in some synth bass here because why not? To get the action going a little bit. And then we're finally getting into our Red Shark theme, the theme of the ship and the main characters in French horn. So this Red Shark theme, this. Kind of a sad little theme, but when you put in anything to French horn, it becomes instantly epic. So, what I decided, oh hey Brent. I just saw your messages there. Clearly you can tell I don't stream that often. So what I decided to do is put this Red Shark theme within those two chords. So they're constantly within the... So I decided to kind of have it like starting in there. And then because it's a heroic ship, because they're always kind of just getting to the surface, I raised it up to the G a little bit, like... But of course they always had to come back down to the water. So the hero theme is always within the ocean chords. So that was the basis behind the Red Shark theme. I thought, okay, it's within the water and it does heroically rise, but always has to get settled. So let's move on to the bass theme. So the bass, again, is going to be within these chords. And what I decided to do is, because it's a high-tech facility, I'm going full-on synth arpeggiators. And with a kind of a hard-line little theme here on the piano, where you have this kind of like... This is kind of like the rigidity of the people running the bass. And kind of goes like this. And let's add some militaristic drums and cello. Because it's a military base. Yeah, love these arpeggiators. Again, these two chords, constant, because the bass is permanently underwater. The ocean is always in the background. And now, let's get into the Red Shark theme. So I'm really hammering home this ostinato here on the cello because it's a big machine. So I needed like almost an engine driving kind of sound. And the percussion there too. One big machine. And because it's going to be swinging through the water at breakneck pace, I decided let's get some nice descending string ostinatos in violins and violas. This kind of which, of course, are types of chords that I'm addicted to. They're basically seventh chords. So you got these this C major 7. So ooh, jazzy. I love that jazzy chord. But when you invert it, it becomes mysterious. Now it's magic underwater. Anyway, when I was like, God, I don't know, like 9 or 10, I thought I had discovered these chords because I was not paying attention during a music composition class in the music theory. So I was addicted to this kind of like, I was like, ooh, and I started writing that into all my early compositions, and then it didn't take me long to realize that Danny Elfman, John Williams, Elliot Goldenthal especially, my God, they are crazy about these chords. So, yeah, for a moment I thought I was being very original. But nevertheless, I worked these into basically everything I write. Like, there's some variation on these jazzy inverted kind of chords, because I love them. They sound so cool. So, with this all together, we have a big machine, and it's going to be going through the water real fast. Now let's get that theme coming really strong now. And now I'm about to do something that I really love. So this is actually my Don Davis inspired thing. Don Davis, composer of The Matrix. I really wanted something that sounds like hypersonar. So not just this, these echoing things. I wanted something faster and more intense. George Lucas. So I have piano and trumpets here doing these kind of chords. Again, it's just the ocean chords. A little Philip Glassy, actually, now that I think about it. Okay, so the Red Shark's ready to go, and now we're going to be moving into the enemy theme. So what I decided to do here is percussion's going to entirely change the rhythm. So it's militaristic percussion to get some nice snare drums in there. But now it's totally shift. Like the big lumbering kind of force, because these enemies are actually alien creatures. They're very squid-like. So I wanted to completely change the rhythm there. And then when it came to the theme, I thought, okay, I want to live within this. I'm going to keep remaining in this. So I'm going to take this this kind of jazzy, but I'm going to make it menacing. So I'm going to take the first two notes and then drop it all the way down to E. has kind of a sinister feel. Very sinister, and I thought, you know what, let's stick with the French horns because they can do these nice pitch bends and these nice swells, so I kind of just holding on the C and then drop it down real fast. And that's what you get with this. Really love that kind of sound. And then I decided I'm gonna go a little creepy, a little crazy here because why the hell not? So I am going to do this kind of creepy horror movie kind of rise. Just to kind of reiterate that these creatures are not friendly. Now comes one of my favorite things ever. Percussion is now on strings. We still have our drums, but this sounds like, to me, almost like creepy bugs crawling. It sounds almost like what is it, Morse code being transmitted. And basically, what that is allow me to demonstrate, will you? So you have your violin. Hold on, I gotta tighten the bow here. It's threads. These horsehair threads are loose. So you have your violin, and in which case you have a very broken electric violin. One day I will get this fixed. But you know, you play a violin normally. It's this, you know, this very. It needs rosin, but taking the back of the bow, and you're gonna kind of click here. Very, like, super 20th century, although I'm pretty certain I've heard it in Vivaldi before, who was, like, way, way early. But the fact remains, it's a cool sound, and it's very alien-sounding, so I figured, okay, let's get violins, viola, cello, bass. It's a technique called legno, or legno. My Italian's extremely rusty, but we have violins. Just kind of holding a rhythmic note. And violas are playing that bum 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 over and over. Same with cello. So you get this polyrhythm going, and then the bass is just kind of keeping this like percussive. So that's the idea behind the percussion there, and then of course I'm going to reiterate this French horn line. Everything intact now. Now for a little variation. A little Jerry Goldsmith right here. Alright, now let's get into the action. Let's just combine everything we've just done. Now we got an anvil, because I really want that metallic sound. And here comes the red shark. Yeah. And let's take this red shark theme, double it with strings now, with violas. And the enemy theme. Meanwhile, those trumpets are still doing their thing. And now let's end on a kind of quasi-heroic chord. Just gonna break down the percussion here just a little bit because I love this anvil sound. It's an actual sampling of an anvil, and let's Gonna add this wooden percussion to really make it hit harder. Got this kind of, I love this synthy kind of drum right here. It's very remote control productions. Hans Zimmer, James Newton Howard. James Newton Howard's not remote control, but whatever. Got your mid-level drums. Then you got your bass, and of course, you need that. You really need that snare. Let's combine them all now. There we go. Now, admittedly, I'm stealing this a little bit from James Horner's Titanic score. He's very smartly, well, in the past he's used a lot of anvil, but he really used it, I think, to kind of really get the ship's hull kind of in your mind. So, shamelessly, I borrowed that. So now we want to get a submarine fighting in the water against enemy aliens. It's a very metallic kind of sound. So yeah, that is basically the long and short of it. What we have here is, you know, a show that takes place within the ocean. The themes are all within that range. Works a lot with these seventh chords. And also it's an easy way for me to score it. I'm cheating a tiny bit because when it's all in the same key, when it's all roughly in similar beats per minute, it allows me to kind of jump around to different themes fluidly because we got to make this show quick. So, yeah, that is the long and short of it. That is Red Shark. And I will now close off the stream with the trailer. And I hope all you beautiful people enjoy. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk.
Chuck, pipe down, please. I'm busy trying to
Come on, Nickel. You're saying we can't have fun doing the best job in the world?
That's what Monopoly Night is for, Chuck. Frank, I can smell the booze on you from here. You know the USP is cracking down on us harder this year.
Relax. I've given up the hard stuff. Now I'm drinking steak. Does wonders for the brain.
Captain Mama.
I know you've had nothing but reservations about Captain Marmer's style.
It's too critical.
The Charybdis program has been a success these past decades because of unconventional means performed by unconventional people.
You may consider that, Mr. Chairman, but I believe irrational, gun-toting maniacs like him have made the Charybdis program an eagerly awaiting landmine. Woohoo! We've gotten word from our spies in the Formina Empire that there's a diplomatic summit.
Between who?
Between Emperor Methuselah himself and King Ixu of the European Kingdom.
How can the Emperor do anything in his,
Condition?
He has a body double who's been given instructions via a transmitter lodged into his ear. You will intercept the transmission with this script, carefully written and calculated to diffuse the proceedings of an alliance between these powers.
All right, let's go kick some ass!